Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I'm going to bring you 2 card samples using the Brutus Monroe Magical Mouse June inspiration box. So I took the flowers that came as a die set in this kit, and I cut them out using the tie-dye paper pack that I had in my stash, and they all cut out with a hole in the center. So I took a brad and I have stacked them all together and made one big flower with them. So I have 3 of those that I have done in different shades of purple. Here are some reddish ones that I also did with the same paper pack. That's just the leftovers that I had. This is one of the foilables that I used the rainbow foil pack and foiled it. I did several foilings from this kit, and the majority of them did not turn out well. I was actually quite disappointed that I could not get a full sheet to foil. This one was probably the best one out of the bunch. So I am taking the 3 flowers and I'm adhering those down with art glitter glue. And I am going to take some purple paper that was from my stash. I believe this is Brutus Monroe paper from a previous kit. I had previously stamped this on white cardstock, but it seemed to get lost in the background. It wasn't standing out enough, so I am going to use this light lavender color, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment down using some Gina K amalgam ink. And the sentiment was too long to fit nestled within my flowers, and so I am going to take my sentiment strip and cut it in half so that I can stack it without cutting my stamp, because I'm not one to do that. So I'm going to take some foam squares, put that behind each of these sentiment strips and get that put down onto this card panel, and then I will adhere the entire panel using art glitter glue to my card base. And that is going to complete this project. If you guys have any tips and tricks for getting a better lamination, let me know, or foiling, I mean, with your laminator. I have tried everything. I've used an extra sheet of paper. I've ran it through multiple times. It just doesn't seem to want to laminate correctly for me. So for our second card here, I am taking a regular panel. I'm taking a cloud stencil that I had in my stash and some distress ink in Salty Ocean, and I'm just going to use my blending tool and just work my way down this panel, putting down some clouds. When I get to the end, there's a little strip that I didn't want to try to put another row of clouds because I know I wouldn't have enough to keep it steady and it would shift, because that tends to be what happens to me. So I'm just going to do a light coat of the ink at the bottom just so it's not so stark white. Off camera, I had stamped and colored and cut out with my scan and cut all of these images, and I'm just going to arrange how I want them and get them glued down onto my card using some art glitter glue. Now these are the second group of these images that I have done, because the first time I took the time, I stamped them out, and then I colored them first, and I know better, but I did it anyway. And then I put the panel on my scan and cut. I had even put pixie spray on my scan and cut mat. So I thought I was all set. I turned my back and started doing something else, and the machine I was like, something doesn't quite sound right. So I go over and the paper's not adhered to the mat and it's just spinning everywhere, making little marks into it. So I couldn't salvage what I'd already colored. So I had to start over. But needless to say, I walked away from that for a minute because I was a little bit frustrated and there was no way I was going to start over right at that moment in time. So, lesson learned, tape down your panel. The girls in the Handmade Happiness group did give me a good tip if you struggle with your scan and cut mat, to use the Cricut heat tape, because the sensors don't recognize it on the machine. So just a little tip for you that the girls shared with me. I did use my aqua shimmer pen and colored in the butterfly wings and the wings of the bee, just to have a little bit of shimmer on there. So then I am going to take my sentiment, which is actually the same sentiment from the first card. I didn't realize it at the time because I had done these a few days apart since I'd had such a issue with the scan and cut. So they've been filmed on separate days. But again, I'm using some Gina K amalgam ink, and I'm stamping this down on some white cardstock. And then I'm going to use my paper trimmer and trim that out. And then I took some foam squares and I put 3 to the left of this panel and then 1 to the right so that it would not have any foam squares where it sits over the rainbow. So that way everything would lay evenly when I put it on the card front. So I absolutely love this kit. I love the mice sitting on the rainbow. There's just some really cute things in here. And what's really funny is recently, a few months ago, I had gone through my stash of cards because we were doing some encouragement cards at work. And one of the themes would have been sunnier days are coming. And then here it is in this stamp set with the sun and all of the things I would have needed. So if we decide to do it again, I can do them a little bit differently, but yet give the same message. So I will definitely be using this kit more, but I wanted to give some quick and easy samples because the new card kit will be coming out shortly. I saw my charge for that this morning, and I don't know about you guys, but I like to avoid the lives and pretty much the Brutus Monroe Facebook page until the kit gets to my house because I don't really want to know what's in there. I like the surprise of it arriving and me opening it and seeing all of the things. Sometimes I've been known to watch Cassie's video if she does an unboxing before mine arrives at the house because there's just something about it. I can't help but not watch that girl. So I am going to complete the inside of the card, which is not something that I normally do, but I have been trying to be better about it. So I'm going to take the mice that are on the rainbow and I am going to stamp them down using some Shaded Lilac Distress Oxide ink. And for some reason, I had to stamp this quite a few times. There was a section of the rainbow and then a section of the little mouse to the left, the eye I just couldn't get to stamp correctly, but I didn't make you watch all of that. I'll show you a couple of times that I stamped it, but I will off camera have to stamp it a few times. But that will complete the center of the card, and you can write right over this with just a regular pen if you wanted to put your message in and not worry about it, but the people can still see that you had something on the inside. So then I'm going to take the panel itself and adhere that using some art glitter glue to the front of this card panel, and that is going to complete this card. Excuse me. So those are the projects I came up with. I would love to see what you've created if you've gotten this kit. I always love to see inspiration from everyone else if you have the same items and everyone's thought process and what they come up with. So I hope that you enjoy these projects. Feel free to give this video a like. I am working my way to 300 subscribers or followers on Instagram, so if you want to head over and follow me at Marie's Vermont Creations over there. You can also follow me on Facebook, and if you are not a current subscriber, I would love it if you would join me, and if you are somebody that has come back and has been following me along, thank you very much. I hope that you all have a great day.